newly cast Opera Philadelphia Scholar in Residence, and it is my pleasure today to introduce you to Don Giovanni, an opera we will be presenting at the Academy of Music the last weekend of April and the first weekend of May. The opera has music by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart and a libretto by Lorenzo da Ponte, and it premiered in Prague in 1787. The opera is eclectic. It is neither a comedy nor a tragedy. If it were listed as a TV show on Netflix, it would probably be categorized as a dramedy or a black comedy. In its time, it was categorized as a dramma giocoso, a playful drama. In this short video, I will explain the opera's plot, point out features you may enjoy listening out for in the music, and explain how Don Giovanni, both the opera and the character, has captured the imaginations of audiences for centuries. The opera takes place in Spain, in the town of Seville. Don Giovanni is a local nobleman, schooled in the art of chivalry, but with an unquenchable sexual appetite. All he thinks about is women, and as soon as he has slept with one, he leaves her to move on to his next target. When the opera opens, Leporello, Don Giovanni's servant, is waiting outside the home of the commendatore, a pillar of society. Don Giovanni is inside, sneaking into the bedroom of the commendatore's daughter, Donna Anna. Don Giovanni is in disguise, and Donna Anna calls him all sorts of names, warning him that she will pursue him until he finds out who he is. Don Giovanni laughs in her face, confident that she will never learn his identity. Just as we begin to worry that he will escape, the commendatore, awakened by his daughter's screams, runs out, and seeing her struggle with Don Giovanni, challenges Don Giovanni to a duel. In the heat of battle, Don Giovanni mortally wounds the commendatore, and he bleeds out on stage in front of us. So within the first 10 minutes of the opera, Don Giovanni attacks Donna Anna and kills her father, showing that he is willing to resort to violence to get his way. When Leporello timidly brings up Don Giovanni's morally questionable behavior, Don Giovanni either gets mad at his servant or laughs off the criticism. Instead, Don Giovanni continues to pursue his goal of sleeping with every woman he meets. In fact, this becomes a running joke throughout the opera, beginning when Leporello adds up the number of women Don Giovanni has bedded across Italy, Germany, France, Turkey, and Spain in his catalog aria. It is a staggering figure, 2,065 and counting. In order to add to this list, Don Giovanni attempts to seduce a woman whose face he hasn't even seen. When she turns around, he realizes that she is Donna Elvira, and he has already met, married, and deserted her. He moves on to the peasant Serlina, a bride celebrating her wedding day. When she escapes his clutches at the end of Act 1, he moves on to Donna Elvira's maid, who never speaks and whose name he doesn't even seem to know. Don Giovanni's encounters with these women vary from humorous to sinister, from gentle seductions to violent sexual assaults. And despite several wronged parties banding together to try to stop him over the course of the opera, Don Giovanni keeps on going, a whirlwind of self-centered desire. Then, suddenly, something strange happens. In an otherwise extreme but ultimately realistic plot, a supernatural element emerges. Leporello and Don Giovanni meet in a cemetery to regroup. But their banter is interrupted by a solemn voice proclaiming, "Your laughter will cease before dawn." At first, they think it must be a joke, but they soon realize that the voice is coming from a particular monument in the cemetery, which is the likeness of none other than the commendatore, the man Don Giovanni has killed in the first scene. When Don Giovanni pretends nonchalance and invites the statue to dinner, the statue unexpectedly nods its head. In the final scene, the statue does indeed come to dinner, but instead of taking part in Don Giovanni's feast, he drags the unrepentant Don Giovanni down to hell. Don Giovanni is a study in contrasts. There are moments of intense realism, but also intense unexplainable supernatural phenomena. It shuttles between violence and slapstick humor at a sometimes disorienting pace. When composer Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart and poet Lorenzo da Ponte wrote the opera for Emperor Joseph II's Court Theatre in Prague, they were drawing on a long history of theatrical presentations of the Don Juan story penned by European literary giants, such as Tirso de Molina and Molière. There was even a popular ballet by one of Mozart's major operatic influences, Christoph Willibald Gluck. And even another opera premiered in Venice months before Mozart's by the composer and librettist team Giovanni Bertatti and Giuseppe Gazzaniga. What sets Mozart's Don Giovanni apart is its wide range of music. It draws on both comic and serious operatic conventions, such as patter songs and rage arias. But it also transcends these common practices of operatic composition in a variety of distinctive moments. One such moment is a trio for Donna Elvira, Donna Anna, and Don Ottavio as they prepare to enter Don Giovanni's party at the end of Act 1. As they hope to stay safe even as they try to ensnare the villain, their voices twine around one another in a moment of exquisite prayerfulness, a calm before the storm. Another is at the party itself, where 3 different kinds of dance music are all played at the same time by 3 different onstage orchestras, a musical expression of carefully controlled chaos as members of all classes dance together at the ball. And of course, there's the statue's entrance at the end of Act 2, wherein a quotidian phrase, "You've invited me to dinner, and I've come," is turned into a chilling declaration by a foreboding bass voice accompanied by a choir of trombones, Mozart's favorite tool in creating a supernatural sound world. Opera Philadelphia is mounting a brand new production directed by Alison Moritz with unique onstage sculptures created by Jesse Wine and Cassandra Griffin specifically for this production. Some visual elements allow us to more clearly see Don Giovanni's guilt mounting as the opera progresses. Others integrate the onstage action with the gilded decor and velvet curtains of the Academy of Music itself. Our vibrant principal cast and versatile chorus and orchestra bring the opera to life. This is a production not to be missed. We look forward to welcoming you to Don Giovanni.